What's up, everybody? We're on a podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the KOTOR Remake, do a little summer check-in on this game, do a little recapping as well, and then kind of ask the question of when do we think, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments, when do you think this game is going to be shown, and when do you think it's going to release? Now, I want to kind of phrase it in a patience kind of way because you do the recap, right? It's gone through all of this trouble. It's gone through switching developers. But remember, back in March of this past year, okay, we're still in the year that this happened, it was confirmed that every game that Saber has shown is still in development. And I never actually saw this next part. I saw this in a different video. He said that no games are getting canceled, none in sight, which could mean, like something could come up, right, and randomly something could happen to it. But that was around the exact same quotes that, okay, if we talked about KOTOR, which I think he later went on to say, like, that's one of them, KOTOR is still happening. Now, if you remember, I actually did a little bit of a dive into Saber Interactive as a website, and if you go on the website, they talk about, and even their social media channels, they talk about their upcoming games, and KOTOR is not on there. And then you look at the games that are coming up, and they'll have, like, the graphics, like the pictures of the game. They have the games that already released, like A Quiet Place, etc., and that game is also not on there. So right now I want to be as optimistic as possible. I don't really know why this game has never deserved the benefit of the doubt, but I want to believe that because of the timing and because it very much sounds like they completely restarted when they got handed the game, I'm going to imagine that they kind of just have taken down any and all signs that the game was ever shown at all, and they'll eventually just kind of replace it with their own thing later on down the line. Now, as to the question of when could we see it, you're talking about 2025 as well, like a 2025 check-in, I don't think this is the year that we see it. I'd like to believe you want to give them a few years, right? And it sounds like they got this game several years ago, but remember, there was always those back and forth rumors of do they have two people stuck in their closet that's working on the game and that's the only people they have? Do they actually have a full team or not? It's never really been stressed if that's true, one or the other. The rumors, I do think there were rumors that it was a handful of people that were working on KOTOR, and that would be a bad sign in terms of how long it would take for the game to come out, because you might want to say, okay, well, let's give them 2 years. Let's say it's been in development for 2 years. Okay, say next year's year 3, say next year's even year 4, right? Okay, well, that's normally around a time that a game would probably be okay, comfortable to show it off. If they, for 2 of those 4 years or 2 of those 3 years, if they had 10 people working on the game, you might as well not even count those years. Now, technically you have to count them, but the amount of work that got done in that time would be very, very little, right? It's just not going to happen. So it's tough. It's tough where it's I want to say next year. I would think, much like I think for Marvel's Blade, right? I'm thinking 2028, 2029 when it releases. And I've seen a lot of people on social media even say this is a perfect example of a game that you almost just completely forget about. You don't, like I said, you don't even really give it the benefit of the doubt if you don't want to. And you almost just assume it's not going to happen at all. And then if it does end up happening and we do end up seeing something on it, it's a welcome surprise. And I think some people were already there back in March, right? People just assumed it's just not happening, and it's confirmed that it's still happening, and there's just this one pulse, right, of hope. And that's kind of gone away, I would say, since it's been almost 4 months since that. I'm not expecting updates monthly for a game like this, but again, that's kind of the point. So, look, hopefully next year, and again, in terms of actual years of development, you'd like to believe next year is around the time you would do it. But I don't know, for a game like this, do they not show it off until half a year before the game comes out? And when does the game really come out? When do you want to start that development time, the countdown on? You might want to start it a year or 2 ago, and you might just want to assume that's coming out again 2028, 2029, maybe even 2030. Absolutely next gen, right? There's no shot. Maybe cross gen if it comes out on both, but no shot it's coming out in the next couple of years. But beyond that, we still have nothing. If we ever see anything very specific, I will of course make videos on it. But you let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.